Yo, what up, what up? Welcome back. Host B Ryder, co-host
J Bell.
And this is Final Thoughts. Today's topic, Andrew Tate, when red pill goes too far. Let's check it out.
Trafficking, we have three things: force, fraud, or coercion. Force, obviously, that's like being in chains and, not being allowed to leave. Fraud, being kept there under false pretenses. If there's an element of fraud in the way that you are enticing somebody or keeping somebody in a particular position to work for you, and if it's in the sex business, that's sex trafficking. Or coercion. Let's kind of look at one of his very first videos that he did. These are his words, not my words.
When you say webcam company, people assume, oh, it's just a sex fest. But in reality, it's a shitload of people management. The HR category of the webcam business is the largest and most important thing. You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you. Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money. So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence. And you're going to have that element of influence through her respecting you, looking up to you, and her believing she needs you. And this is extremely important, because at the beginning she will need you, but then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive.
Fallacy, that's his word. And what is fallacy? Fraud.
So by you typing for the girl, you maximize your money, and also she believes she needs you, which is extremely important. Another reason you use Chatterbait is because they will pay you in Bitcoin. And this is amazing because you've all seen the thought audit shit that's going on. You've all seen the fucking legalities of banking. Trying to get money out of these sites into your bank without paying a shitload of tax is actually very difficult. Last 6 months, Chatterbait have released a Bitcoin option, so they'll pay you in Bitcoin. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin, so you don't need to pay tax to anybody. Tell your girl that you're paying the tax, because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element. If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. It allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3, and I'd keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, we get to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. So really you're paying 30, you tell them you're paying 50, the difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you or they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Ooh, okay, and they just sign away. They don't know what they're fucking signing. Let's throw them away afterwards. But they think something's happening. Something real is happening. Nothing's happening except me getting rich, bitch.
He going to jail.
Woo! You know he did.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Grand closing. It's over, y'all. It's over.
You got to be the dumbest.
Shut your stupid.
It's really stupid, man. It's really stupid. I think we all done some stupid stuff, but this is pretty dumb.
Yeah, like you are literally telling people what you're doing, and now you know it's illegal.
Yeah,
and you're just like, yes,
nigga.
That's what I'm doing. Illegal things. I do all of the things.
I do all of the
illegal.
I'm with everything. Like, I'm with it all.
Just so you know.
Illegal. Yes. Wow.
So where do we start with this one?
Yeah.
Because
it's a lot.
He just recently came across my feed. I didn't know much about him. I just saw like when he had like a piece of joint up in the video that he was making, and they like raided his compound. I was like, that was stupid.
Why did he do that? You know what I mean? I'm like, why did he? Nah, man.
You know, and now that I'm reading the transcripts and all that kind of stuff, I'm like,
it gets stupider.
Oh, this nigga trip.
Who knew? This is this your king?
Is this your king?
How, dude? How? And it's a lot. It's a lot to dig through. So when I initially came across Andrew Tate, I kind of in my mind, put him as like, oh, he's like another Fresh and Fit, but a little bit more extreme, you know. But and that's saying something because Fresh and Fit is already like crimson red pill, you know. So, you know, cool, whatever. But then I think he started, like, parents started complaining about him. Like,
in the UK, I think.
Yeah, like his students or whatnot were repeating some of his talking points and things. And that's okay for, like, adults, I guess. But for the kids, like, to be thinking this way, it's like, it's a little early to be a misogynist, Timmy.
Fuck them kids.
You know?
Early, huh? I'd be one when I'm in my 30s.
Yeah,
maybe.
you know, save that for when you have a 401k. So, like, and then the social media platforms started banning them, like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. All of them just started banning them, which personally I was against, only because of like free speech. You know, like that's kind of the price we pay for it. You know, free speech means that anybody can say what they want, even if you don't like it.
I don't know. I feel a little weird about the free speech thing.
What you?
Because I kind of, on one hand, understand that you should be able to say whatever it is that you want to say, but we, I think, as a society, should shelf certain ideas. Like, we shouldn't, like, the question is, like, should you punch a Nazi?
Some kind of assembly?
Yeah.
Right? You know? Mm-hmm. And it's this person that's spewing hate speech, Nazism, and stuff like that.
Right,
what do we do when we get to that point? Like, what do we do when we get to a point where it's so red pill that we're at Andrew Tate's level, where he's instructing you to manipulate and use women and pretty much look at them as lesser than a human being?
Right.
Where do we draw the line and be like, you know, yeah, free speech, asterisk. See the little bottom part. I don't know if we should just have any idea floating around. I guess that's what the whole Trump thing with Truth Social.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm a little weird about it.
It is a
great,
a potent question, because even free speech has an asterisk. Like, there's certain things you can't slander people. You can't incite violence. You can't scream fire in a building when there is one. Right? You know, there are limits to our free speech. It's just like so far as on social media, right? Yeah. Is kind of this, because social media isn't really subject to like the whims of our government in the same sense. Like, it's regulated differently. It's basically to the whims of the people who own it. So they can say that you can't say certain words or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
So it's.
But the message gotta get out some kind of way, just like all of the outlets that Andrew Tate was using.
Absolutely.
So it's like you're using these platforms to spread hateful, rhetoric.
Right.
What if those platforms decided not to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which I'm perfectly fine with them deciding not to, because that's within their power to do.
Right.
You know, they can decide if they don't want you there if you violate their terms of service. Cool. Right. It's, like you said, it's tricky. It's a tricky situation.
Yeah.
But free speech is a tricky thing. It's what it is.
Ding.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Nice
but
guy.
With Andrew Tate, man, jeez, he went off of the deep end. This is the issue, I think, with going too far red pill, right? Because there are a lot of people who would say that red pill is BS. You shouldn't, follow any of the tenets, or you shouldn't listen to Andrew Tate or Fresh and Fit or Kevin Samuels or anyone who is slightly remotely red pill. That part I don't agree with. There are some truth within the rhetoric.
I knew it.
Now, when you go too far, you go too far, but
on both sides, blue pill, red pill.
Absolutely. Right.
There's truth on both sides, but I think there's extremities too. You can be too extremely blue, to extremely red.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
that's the problem.
That's the
That
issue.
is part of the problem.
That's part of the issue.
Yeah.
When people go down, I think they start from a type of truth in red pill. Like when you're talking about hypergamy amongst women, that's something that people in the red pill bring up a lot.
Yeah.
I think that there's some truth in that women do tend to be hypergamous. That's
Facts.
fine to say, right? When you go so far as treating women less than a person or trying to manipulate their minds, like he was talking about,
Yeah.
like controlling them and then being such a jerk that you don't even pay them what they're worth, like, no.
Come on, man.
Like that's far beyond red pill to me. That's
Yeah.
illegal. Like you're just a bad person at that point.
You're
in
a
time.
horrible person.
Yeah.
You're using bait and switch routines with them. You know, like he talked the girl into moving to Romania
Yeah.
and stuff like that, just so he can, like, he promised marriage,
Yeah.
and she moved, and he like,
Gotcha, bitch.
We ain't
You
gonna
believe-
do that. We ain't gonna do that. No, we're not doing that.
we don't do that.
That's wrong. That's the wrong thing, and that's part of why he probably will be going to prison.
You gonna do your time while getting hit from behind. Now toot that ass up. Bro, you tripping.
On some sex trafficking charges or human trafficking charges, I should say. But yeah, that's a bad thing to do. He took it way too far, and I feel sorry for the people who listened, who did listen to him when he was in power.
It is a bit baffling, like how these guys like come to power. At what point did, like you said, it starts off with some sort of truth, right? That there's a thing that they want to talk about that they feel like, I don't know, let's just say men experience when they deal with women. All right, sure.
Yeah. Starts off.
At what point did you, like, as a follower of him, be like, man, you wildin'?
You're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it.
Now you just went and got on the train and went the whole
Never
way.
got off.
Yeah, you just never got off.
That's the wild part.
For people who watch anime, it's kind of like light yagami. At first, it was like he was killing bad guys. Right?
Yeah.
You know, everybody like, all right, that's a bad guy, criminals, sure. Then he gotten to the point where he was about to kill his own family if they got in his way.
True.
That's where I'm just like, okay, that's wild. And I'm a fan of light yagami, and I'm like, that's where, you know,
Ride
I have
the train. This my stop.
Yeah, this my stop.
This my stop.
And then the same thing with the people that follow him. At no point did you like question, you know, maybe we shouldn't do this to women.
Right.
Like, I like talking about the dynamics of men and women, but I think this is dehumanizing. Like,
Yeah. There's a level where you have to somewhat with anybody. I think no one should be above reproach. No one should be idolized to the point where you swallow everything that they say wholesale without any kind of critical thought. Like you said, there are some truths within red pill, and that's fine. But oftentimes the people who use this kind of rhetoric use that truth as a vehicle to get what they want. And sometimes it starts off with like the hypergamous thing. Sometimes they'll say something like, well, men aren't valued as much as we were once before, or a man is only valued so long as he provides something, or there's no accountability amongst women, which there's levels of truth in all of these statements.
Right.
But when you take these and then you go to women should be treated like cattle.
Women are not people. They are devices built by the Lord Jesus Christ for our entertainment.
Something.
They're just stupid. They're dumb.
Yeah.
They don't really think.
They don't.
You know.
Yeah.
So you have to control them.
Right.
What?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
That's when it's like, okay, it's time to get off of the train.
Yeah. Yeah. The little
pull the cord.
like you on the RTA and read it.
Ding, ding, ding.
This me
gotta
right
get
here.
off. I gotta go.
Y'all staying? All right. Yeah. Cool. You got any final thoughts for this one?
My final thoughts is like it's okay to listen to red and blue and purple, whatever. You know, like they say, chew the meat, spit out the bone. You know, I don't think you should follow everything someone says, because I know Kevin Samuels was a really polarizing figure, and he said some things that resonated with me, and he said some things that didn't. Like, I have friends that go hook, line, and sinker hard behind them, but I'm just like, you know, there are things that I'm just like, that's crazy. And same thing with Andrew Tate. Well, I wouldn't say the same thing.
Not quite. Not quite.
He's a bit extreme.
Nigga, what? Get your boy.
Well, a lot extreme.
That's better. Thank you.
Or a lot.
And I say all of this to say that you should still remain true to yourself. You don't have to have an influencer influence you into being something that you're not. If you're not a womanizer, a manipulator, or this control freak or anything like that, just be who you are. And if you are a person that's like that, then you probably need to seek therapy.
Because, damn.
Because that's not, you shouldn't look at any human on the level of, like you said, they're like cattle, they're just animals, they're just mindless zombies, and you have to control everything that they do. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go. So, yeah, like I said, remain true to yourself.
Bars. My final thoughts on this one is, this is clearly an indication of when red pill just runs off of the tracks. You know, like you said, it usually targets young people because young people are the most vulnerable. There's so many young people, especially on the internet, that listen to this rhetoric, and because their life may reflect what he's saying now, they believe that this is the absolute truth, right? But the thing is, like, though there are nuggets of truth in what some people say, you got to know when to get off of the train. Everything isn't correct. You shouldn't live your life by these ideals, right? Most of the red pill stuff, I can tell you, when it goes really far, is just BS. Because a lot of the people who spout the red pill rhetoric, they say things like what men want. They want, you know, a kind, demure woman to marry who can cook and clean and be soft, feminine, right? But how many of these red pill guys do you see married?
Get him.
How many of these red pill guys do you see dating those types of women?
Anyone? You? Anyone? You?
Mm-hmm. I can tell you, I don't see any of them doing that. None of them.
Coincidence? I think not.
I haven't seen a single red pill person who tells you to marry this soft, quiet woman dating any of those types of women. None of them are married. None of them even look that way, right? So let that be somewhat of a reference to you. What do you see them doing? You see them surrounded by women, beautiful women, treating them however they want to treat them, right? So my message is really to the young folks who listen to this type of stuff. I know it feels like it might be correct right now because of the space you're in. If you give it a few years, you will see just how wrong some of these talking points are. You will see. You probably just haven't lived long enough. You haven't experienced enough people. You haven't talked to enough women. You haven't done enough life to know how wrong they are. But one day you will. Believe that. You will. Well, that's my final thoughts on that.
Before we go, I just wanted to add this. I usually don't do it, but it just came to my mind. It's like extreme red pill talk appeals to like two types of men that I've noticed. The two that I see is men who are pretty much like that exhibit incel behavior. They can't get what they want out of a woman. You know, they don't have success with women. So they get on these, they listen to these red pill shows and they're just like, yeah, we should. And it's like empowering to them, you know, because it's no longer like a them thing. It's a women's thing. A woman's thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, yeah. I'm not crazy. They're the crazy. They're the stupid ones.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
like I said, it's empowering to them. The second type is the men who already feel like women should be subservient to men. Period. In any form. It doesn't matter if it's their girl or someone else's girl. They just have a general outlook on women being the lesser of the two.
Yeah.
So if you fall in that category, I just called you out.
Who he talking to like that? Talking to your ass.
I like it. Well, that's our show, y'all. Thanks for listening to our ramblings once again. Our second episode, our next one, anyway, is going to kind of transition into a similar topic, but on the other side.
Almost the antithesis of this one.
So, but y'all check us out, and I'm your host, B. Ryder. This is my co-host,
J. Bell.
And this has been
Final Thoughts.